to the Aegis Rolldown podcast. I'm TheRealHoneyBear. We got Lorence over here. It looked like my audio cut out for 2 seconds. I'm not sure if it did, but if it did, how's it going, everybody? This is our first time live on YouTube, which is actually pretty cool. We did it. We finally did it. But Lorence, how you doing, man? Before we get into like... Yeah. Wait, for some reason, hang on. For some reason, let me know. No sound? Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know why. Lorence's sound's not coming through. My sounds should be coming through. Lorence is dead to everybody. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's coming through me and it sounds awful. Yeah, cut that. Guys, what would be a podcast without some technical difficulties here? You guys can hear me, right? There's no way you guys can't hear me. My sound should be coming through. Lorence is dead to us, though. Oh, okay, cool. Lorence, what did you do for sound? How did you break your sound? And no, I can fix this. I got this. So, are you there?
Okay. Test.
Yay! Lorence is back.
We did it.
All right, we'll try this one more time. Lorence, how's your week been?
Okay, let's try it again. And I can totally roll right off of that because I've been having a successful week, as I was saying. I felt like it was really a good time rolling into these, what we're going to talk about here in a second with the leagues. This whole past 3 or 4 days just been kind of churning away at things. I don't know, it just feels really good, to work on something and see it start to come together. That always just feels nice. And was doing that pretty much the past 72 plus hours. Not only that, obviously I went and did other things. I went and saw a movie.
Wait, what
I
movie?
do things outside of my room. I went to saw Avatar.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, no spoilers, but good?
Go watch it. I don't know. I thought it was worth my money.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it? You personally. I don't care about anybody else. You personally, what would you give it?
I give it the 7.5 out of 10 of
okay.
It was a movie, all right.
It was a movie. Okay. What would you have given the first one? So I can give a...
It depends. Okay, so there's
it doesn't
different...
depend. It's your choice.
7.5. I'd give it about the same.
Same thing? Okay.
Good. Yeah. So I don't know what it is. The first Avatar movie was these are exceptional movies. They're very obviously the most successful movies of all time, basically. And I don't know what it is. It's they look great, but it's the story is that's new, novel a little bit, but I get really engrossed by other things as well. And so I compare the stories of the two, and I like some other stories way, way better. It might just be my personal preference,
That's fair. Okay, sorry. I was reading Rainbow Meowie's chat.
Yeah.
Because I'm did I screw something up? No, I think it's on her end. We're thank goodness. But guys, hit us up if there are any technical difficulties. Being our first time live here, we're kind of expecting that we mess something up. So since we probably messed something up, just let us know what it is. Like Lorence not being able to speak. But
imagine.
Last thing I want to talk about Avatar, because have you been to Disney and done the Avatar ride?
No.
10 out of 10.
Is it in Florida, or is it the one in
Florida?
LA? Okay, I haven't been to the one in Florida.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 ride. You know what? I would give it 9 out of 10 ride, 10 out of 10 total experience. Because the total experience of even being in the line, Disney, they go all out. Just being in the line and walking through all that, awesome. If you haven't done it, check it out.
Yeah, no,
10 out of 10 experience.
I will say, I think I'm a huge I love amusement parks. I really like amusement parks. So I go to Six Flags whenever I can. I grew up in Minnesota, and there's a couple amusement parks in the upper Midwest up there. Valley Fair, shout out. Like, I really like rides, but I cannot stand lines. So like going to Disney, because I used to live in LA, and I would go to the Disney World or Disneyland over there, and dude, those lines are like 3 hours long.
Yes.
I'm like, what am I doing with my time? It just like it does feel magical, like you're in Disneyland. It's one of the most like magical places in the United States. Like, let's go. But it's still just like I can't stand lines. So hearing that at least the walk experience of sitting there in the line is like, that gets a thumbs up for me, because that's part of the ride almost at that point, right?
It really is. It has to be, and I think that's what they do it for. I mean, if you're there, it is one of the most like sought after rides. So like if you're there a little late,
get
there at a wrong time, you're gonna be outside of the cool experience of the line. You're gonna be there forever. But I don't know. They have ways around it. It's kind of cool. Yeah. So like with the park pass and whatnot. But yeah, 10 out of 10 would do again. Wanted to ride it a second time, but the second time we looked at it, it was like a 4-hour line, and that's not an exaggeration.
Did you pull the classic "Can we just go again" line on the person? Yeah.
Yes, I absolutely did. I'm like, can I just step in? But like, there is no going again on Disney. It is like they will give you the swift boot. Like, they would faster kick you out of the whole park than let you ride.
Yeah, they're eventually gonna have like the thing where it just dumps you out.
Yeah. So, gone.
All right. See you later, buddy. And it's like a little slide, like no chance to come back.
Speaking of see you later, great transition, by the way, Lorence. Yeah. We got some football teams here that you and I were just talking about that are potentially going to see you later. The Seattle Seahawks are in overtime right now. How's that looking? Where are they at right now?
I won't spoil anything, and I haven't looked in the last minute, so maybe it's already ended. Okay. But I try not to spoil too much, but it's exciting because, as we may or may not know, someone in this podcast is a Lions fan of sorts. It's not me, spoiler alert, again, but I think that is like pretty impactful, actually, or it is pretty impactful, because if the Seahawks end up winning, your Lions are just done, and so you don't even want to watch the game tonight.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, but if they lose, then we kind of get pulled into the game tonight that I actually really want to watch. Is the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, where I almost want to watch it anyway, because if the Packers lose and the Seahawks win, then the Seahawks just go in. So I want to see the Packers lose, because I'm a huge Vikings fan. So get wrecked.
I mean, I think we can all agree we just want the Packers to lose, regardless of your fandom. I think like the whole nation is against the Packers right now. Like, who doesn't want to root for the Lions? Like, a little bit at least, right? Like, we're a terrible team. Even now, we're still a terrible team. We accept it. And we're okay with it. And so it's like there's that little bit of like, yeah, you know what? Give it to them. They deserve it this year. They tried.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like push cool Cinderella story.
Yeah, we won't go too far with like bashing down on them, right? Bringing the kids in, but like we all know how storied they basically have been with not being good.
And we were 1-6 to start the season, something like that.
Yeah, and you're like,
feels
just
good.
kidding.
Right. Like, joke's on you. We're actually a adequate team. We're a slightly below average. We're an average. I don't know.
You're somewhere in there.
We're somewhere around there.
We all hate the Pats, not the Packers. Oh, come on. We hate both of those teams. Yeah. Okay, Ivar.
Both. I will chat. I don't think he's in here, but CLE, being a Browns fan, like, first off, Ohio and Michigan don't see eye to eye. We hate each other. But like, the one thing that we can like stand together with is how terrible our like NFL organizations are. So like, it's one of those rivalries that we're like, we know we suck, and we like, when the other one loses, we pat him on the back. We're like, hey man, like, we're there with you. So yeah, shout out to him. But off the football conversation, we'll start to dive into the actual podcast stuff. So welcome on in, guys. We talk about TFT typically. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about sports, anime, anything that we kind of Avatar, I guess. Anything that kind of rolls off the tongue, we'll be chatting about. This week we do have a sponsor. Did we have a sponsor last week?
I don't remember if we ended up having one. My memory is not the greatest.
I'll say I don't think you guys shouted it out, but anyways, I don't think they knew they were sponsoring this episode. We did not know they were sponsoring this episode until we sat down. But Purple Pouring is actually sponsoring this episode. Thus, Lorence and I both wearing purple t-shirts in honor and in support of Purple Pouring. So shout out to him. Thanks for the sponsor. Really appreciate it. You and Rainbow Meowie out there supporting us nonstop. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Completely random purple shirt day.
Yeah.
So
I mean, mine's a Viking, so
mine's a Twitch t-shirt. So,
we don't say that.
Yeah, we're not even on Twitch anymore. Having a sponsor, thanks, man. Appreciate it. It's a solid sponsorship. Probably one of the best ones we've ever had. Probably. I can't remember all of the sponsorships that we've had. Lawrence, do you remember most of the sponsorships we've had?
The only one I vividly remember is being sponsored by my mustache, which can come back maybe next week when I shave the rest of the beard and leave the mustache again.
Okay, then it'll just be like full mustache sponsorship.
Exactly.
Okay.
For the entire leagues. Get the muttons going. Sponsored by Lawrence's Muttons.
Yeah, Lawrence's Muttons.
We'll just shave everything else off and leave the muttons.
Feels good, man. All right, on to some meta news. I think the big meta news that we can just dive right into, unless there's any other like small, minute conversations you want to have. But it's Defender Cup coming up. Snapshot in 4.5 hours. And we got quite a few ACL members looking to participate, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really hype. I love being able to see people having come in here, participate in our events, and then improve enough to or maintain or get better to enough to like play in these Defender Cups and things like that. Like playing in their or Golden Spatula, wherever your qualifiers are, being able to see players that played in Aegis play in these qualifiers and potentially go like qualify for these very high Riot events like the Mid-Set Invitationals or Worlds itself. That's just really hyped to myself.
Yes.
I love being able to communicate with all of you and being able to see that happen. So that's like I'm sweating for you. But if
Yes.
anybody, one thing I'll quick shout out to as well, if you are streaming tonight, maybe you need to sweat and you're not going to stream. But if you're streaming tonight and you are in like somebody here in this chat, please drop it in TFT streams and let's come and support you because I would
100%.
love to.
100%. Yeah. I want to give a few shout outs here to people who I think have locked at this point. And so
Knock on wood.
I think the most I can remember, which I haven't been here for super long, but the most I can remember, we've had 2 in the NA qualifiers, right? Do you remember any qualifier we've had more than 2 Aegis players in there?
Not to my knowledge. Like it's usually around like there's just a handful and it's usually not very many. Yeah, like I can't remember much more than like say 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right now, people who I believe are locked, but you never really know. Cramsey, Trade, Keens, Jesus Timo, Chandler, shout out to Chandler, Shy Guy, and then somebody I don't know this name. Let me know if you know the name. Oh my goodness, now I can't find him. KP, where's KP?
Keon Peter?
KPK 618. Do you know that guy?
Yeah, they've played in a couple of our events, I believe, on Discord there, Keon Peter.
Keon Peter? Yeah. So I personally, I've never had an interaction with this person. So big shout out to you. Was looking through the list, saw you were looking to make it. So big shout out. I hope I get to know you here soon. But yeah, what a list right now. Plus, we have multiple people above 300 LP that are looking to push in the next 5 hours, which is super, super hype.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ramen Blitz.
Yeah. Believed in ramen.
Believed in ramen. I don't even know how to
do
say
anything
that.
tonight. Send your energy over to Ramen Blitz. I believe in you, buddy.
If you anything to help this man out, where are we at, Ramen? I think Ramen, you're in chat, right? Where are you at right now?
He might not want to tell us.
410.
Oh, you went up. Let's go.
Let's freaking go, dude.
Hype.
Yeah, big hypes. And I know, like, so I have been. I love this. I love competitive TFT. I don't know. I strive with this, and so I have had the like top 1,000 list on tactics tools, plus like we have some of the guys in a summer camp Discord that have been on that list as well, that like we have our own lol chess kind of favorites list, and so I've been streaming that, watching it constantly, and so big shout out to everybody who's on the list. Ramen, I've been like stalking your account. I've been stalking a lot of people's accounts.
Yeah, no pressure, but it's like
yeah.
I guess, I mean, that's how you kind of climb too. Is you get used to the pressure. Maybe like I don't know, maybe it's like the last 2 times you'd had a little bit of the pressure and you didn't quite make it, and now you're a little more used to it, and you kind of make that last push. So
yes,
pressure is always a good thing. I definitely know that myself from having been pushed into, as I mentioned a little while back, getting pushed into doing things like this podcast even, and like just do the things that you're uncomfortable with. So I know it might be a little bit of pressure, like to Ramen, to hear people say, "We believe in you, buddy," but it's maybe it'll make you a better player now and maybe down the road as well. So
really do. Yeah, and the nice thing about this is like, because this isn't the be all end all, right? It's the first cup, it's the Defender Cup. It's the first one. Not making this is not even close to the end of the world. It's actually the lowest points for a World's Qualification Cup out there. It's one of those that like, all right, if you're not gonna get like top 2, it really doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things, because you can make up the points in all the rest of them. Pretty easily, and it was even showed last year. A lot of people who didn't even make the cup or were just kind of first aid made it through, and got really close to making it to Worlds. So definitely a possibility. But even like looking at the list, like a guy like Raditz, like an extremely good player, might not make it this year. He might not. And it's like whoo, that's rough. But like if a player like that is not making it, like this, the ladder is ridiculous right now. Like the ladder is so hard right now.
Yeah, shout out to Natures, who went and I think tweeted that it was like 100 LP within like 30 people, even at the top, where it's just like these are stupid competitive right now.
Ridiculous.
And the height of like the LP that you need to get to kind of be safe, even at the 160 mark, is uncomfortable. I am nowhere near that myself, of course, but just hearing other people talk about it is nerve-wracking. So
yes,
yikes.
500 LP, so Challenger, right? Challenger rank is at 258 right now, which is just like, that is crazy, because top 160 get in. So like even sitting at 500, you're like, that person's probably not in. Not in. Like probably is the term, but like probably not.
Yeah, like,
but
I
then
don't know
even
how
like 510 is 248, is ranked 248. So it's like, even if you get it like another 4th, you're really not moving up very much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I would have so much anxiety of just going through that, even through like coasting. But I would not feel comfortable. So like the anxiety of playing those games would be bad, but it'd be even worse if I was like, but what if I just missed? So I would go play until I'm at like 600 LP, until like 600. Like it would be bad, and I might mess it up, but I would go play. I would not feel safe.
Yeah, I know you and I were kind of talking before this. You said 250, or sorry, you said 550. I'm kind of around. I was around 530. Looking at it, I'm like 530 might be safe. But yeah, I mean it's so stressful. Personally, like, so for those of you guys who have been around, you kind of know my background a little bit. But if you don't, this is one of your first time seeing me. I was a strength and conditioning coach. I've been a personal trainer, group fitness instructor. I've trained Olympic athletes in my time. And so competition is something that like I freaking love. This like today is like my favorite. It's like, I don't know, feels like Christmas to me. Christmas all over again. I'm like, I can't wait. Because I'm the type of person I love like I like to be the one that is either right or wrong, and I love that. I'm perfectly okay with being like, this is fact, and if I'm wrong, I'll take it. I'm wrong, that's okay. I'll take it on myself. But like, I'm so confident that I'm gonna be right that like it just doesn't even scare me. I just love every second of it. So big fan over here.
Yeah, it's like funny because like I really like competition, but like I like it. You're saying like I'm gonna be right, and I feel that way when it comes to competition, where it's like I'm going to try and be the best, but then it's when we're actually having like conversations. This is like a little bit into like how we end up like coming to decisions for adminning. Is like I actually am like super open to like other people telling me something otherwise. So I just really like that sort of conversation. It's like, what do you think? And so like it's almost a default of thinking that I'm not right, which is sometimes bad. But I'm glad to have somebody like you around, I guess, then that goes and says like, this is right. And then I kind of like hear that and base it off of what I end up getting. But
I love to speak boldly and accept when I'm wrong. Like, definitely, it's only acceptable to speak boldly, I think, if you accept when you're wrong, right? Like, if I'm not accepting when I'm wrong, somebody needs to call me out, because, like, that's no good. But I'm happy to just be like, no, I believe in this 100%. I'm going to go for it until proven wrong with it. Like, I'm okay to hear the other side, because the other side is going to give me an idea of what I truly believe. And go from there, which actually I kind of wanted to bring this up. Was a quick conversation. This was like a 45-second conversation that I had with Expired, and I really like it, but I couldn't. Neither one of us could really. I believe neither one of us could really argue the other side, and so I kind of wanted to like hear your perspective on it. But it was specifically talking about if you think you're safe going in. So let's just say right now you're sitting at I don't know, 530. So we'll put it at my number. I mean, we can put it at your number if you want to, a 550. So if you're sitting at 530 or 550, and let's say you were sitting at that yesterday, or you have one more day left, would you take the break and just not feel that stress and take the day off and then watch towards the end to see if you think you're going to be safe? Or do you hard commit? Now, you kind of said you'd hard commit, but what would you do? And then what would you coach? So if you were going to coach somebody up, would you coach them to play, or would you coach them to sit?
I think, I am so glad you asked me this, because I love these sorts of concepts.
Same.
So again, for a small bit of context, I love psychology. It's going to be my degree is CS and psychology combined. So I like these sorts of like, what do you do? What would you tell people? For myself, I would pay as little attention to the number as possible. I would pay attention to my LP and just see it go up and down, but I would pay as little attention to the ladder as possible. I wouldn't look at it. I would just be like, I'm grinding it out. I'm just playing the game, and I'm playing to get better. I'm not playing to make the number.
And this is for you if you were at 530, right?
If I'm at 530,
okay.
I'm just gonna play. I'm trying to play to get my LP. Like, if I make it, then I'm gonna make it, and that's how I would at least try to. Maybe I would like succumb to the need of like, in the moment I'm gonna go look. But overall, what I'm trying to get into the mentality of is disregarding the fact that I'm looking for top 160. I'm looking to just be like the best player, and if that means that I'm in the top 160, then I'm gonna hit it. So that's what I would end up doing.
How do you coach it?
What I would do is I would figure out and this is the reason that this comes to what I would do versus what I would do coaching, is I am comfortable with that. It's how I comfortably do things. Whereas somebody else will potentially not feel comfortable doing it. If I tell someone to do it this way, they might have that anxiety of I need to know, and then they play worse because they don't know. So if I was coaching, I would figure out what they're doing. I'd figure out like what's going on in your head. Like, do you feel comfortable taking some time off? Do you feel comfortable taking a 3-hour break right now when you're on the cusp, or do you want to just grind it out? Do you feel better? So like, because what's the point of taking that 3-hour break if they're going to play worse when they get back because they've just been racking themselves the whole
What
time.
about a day break? 1 day.
A full day break, like same sort of thing. Like, hey, go to X place and figure it out. And I'll say like a year ago, I might have had the issue of just thinking about it all the time. I would have been like, before I had gone, not to get too personal here, but like I had gone to like some therapy and got better with this sort of thing. Where like I would have thought about it like all day. I've been like, oh crap, where am I? And instead of like just like enjoying myself, I would have been playing video games with my friends, and then I go to the bathroom, and while I'm on my walk over there, not distracted anymore by playing with my friends, I'd like, oh, I need to check my phone and check where it's at. And then when I come back, I'm not thinking about the video games. I'm thinking about, crap, am I making it? And now I'm not enjoying myself.
True.
And in that scenario, I probably should just keep playing because, or at least if that's the goal, is to like make it, is I will just keep playing instead of going out and hanging out with my friends, because that's not helping me then. Whereas now I feel a lot better with, I'm a lot more calm with it. I'm gonna just go to the bar, go hang out at a movie, hang out with my friends, and then come back and be refreshed. It might be a day, like you mentioned, or a couple hours, what have you. So
yep, yeah. And Ramen in the chat kind of give it like similar to what like I guess I would think with that is so he said breaks are OP, went 858. Then went to the gym, now traverse swimming. So with my background of strength and conditioning, right?
What do you know about this?
Yeah, right. So like I definitely think getting like your mind right, but not only your mind, just your full body right. Doing something like going to the gym.
Go for a walk.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. Go for a walk. Even if you don't normally go for a walk, going for a walk can release hormones that allow you to focus. Like it's science, right? It's proven. You can't deny it. It does happen, regardless of what you believe.
Much less going to the gym, like Ramen said.
Don't need to go to the gym, like especially if you're not a gym person. Like,
then you might have anxiety.
Don't recommend that. It's gonna have an adverse effect. You're gonna come home sore, and it's gonna be worse. But just do something of your physical activity level, right? Get yourself going a little bit. Do some, people say like do squats. Those are all well and good, but just leaving your area is also important. Just walk away. Just go away. Go take a shower. Get yourself going. If you have ever taken a cold shower, maybe try taking a cold shower again. Like that could really fire yourself up to get yourself going. Cold showers suck, but like they work. There's a reason like people talk about them all the time because they work. And so that would kind of be mine. I don't think I would ever take a day off, and I would never allow actually let me tell you that. Coaching wise, I would never allow my athlete, my esports athlete, my TFT player to take that full day off. I would say no, you have to grind it out, but making sure that you prepare yourself so each time you are grinding a game, you are in the best possible position to win, like mentally, physically, everything, whatever that may be. Like once you sit down, but before you sit down, making sure you're eating right. Like if you're like, oh, my comfort food is Taco Bell, and be like, yeah, let's not do Taco Bell today, because we're not running the risk of running to the toilet halfway through your game. Like, let's not do that today. Maybe make yourself some tacos. Like, let's do that. But things like that. For me personally, like coaching aside, I suck at personal stuff. So it's like, it's way more of I would sit. I would sit. I would do the exact opposite. I would sit, I would watch it, and I would just stare, and I would not play until the final moment. Yeah. Which I think is incorrect, but that's just... Would
you just play worse because, like, so you're thinking you want to wait because you're like, oh, I'm all I'm going to be thinking about is not going 5th or below, or something like that.
But it's pseudo a confidence thing of like, I'm gonna sit because like I'm good, but I will focus until that moment. Like, if I'm at 5:30, we're getting close, I'm gonna sit there and say like, okay, do I have to play one game? Do I have to play 2 games? And then once I can figure that out, once I can see it, I'm going to just hype myself up, psych myself up for those 2 games, whatever it may be. Calling in, a coach, calling in, somebody to walk me through things, help me out through the games. whatever gets my mind right in those games. But I would sit and wait until that moment, and then just give everything I have in that moment. Again, I think that's wrong, but it's probably what I would do if I wasn't, coaching.
Yeah, no,
if I'm coaching, I'm the complete opposite. I'm doing what I think is correct, not what physically I want to do.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good in between of ourselves as well. Again, like almost like I had mentioned with our like debating styles, is kind of like maybe we need to get like an in between of that, where somebody needs like both of us as a coach, to like or at least that combination of styles where like really be personal about it, like hey, like make sure like this is right for you, but also push them, because that's probably another big thing that I struggle like to do to other people is push them to do something sometimes. So like you would be much better at that. Like you'd be like, hey, no, you can't take today off. Like, but I would be like, oh, I'm gonna try it. Like, make sure you're comfortable. Whereas you're like, you don't want to be comfortable. You want to like go and make yourself uncomfortable, so then you get stronger for it, or something like that, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's like somewhere in between that is probably, or a combination of like multiple facets of what we do is probably like that. Maybe the optimal way to go.
For sure.
Yeah, great question.
And Honeybear coaching, when you're taking students, never.
Right.
But if you want mental coaching, like mental coaching, I'm here for you. I'll happily talk you through, the sports side of things and how I believe, the esports psychology is utilized, because that's something I've studied, I've worked with, and I've done a lot with. But helping you become better at TFT, nah, man. Talk to somebody else. Talk to you, Crazy Pete. I'm not gonna help you with that. I got no chance of helping you with that, but I'm down to help with the mental side of things.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing that like I kind of like is nobody's coming to me for TFT coaching anytime soon. I like maybe to like figure out the game. Like, hey, I have a friend that needs to be understand the game. Like I can talk about like how to like understand the game in general pretty well, but in terms of coaching you to hit master, probably not going to be able to help you out too much. But then there's just like other things that I could probably also help out with, of just like talking you through whatever is happening. Like I love doing that stuff, kind of like what you were hinting at.
For sure.
Yeah. I ain't got much more than
did
that.
you read Rainbow Meowy's last post there that she just posted?
The esports psychology?
Yeah, that post. Did you read that?
Have I hooked you up with our homie Honeybear?
So I read that. I did not read homie. The M I separated to an R and an N.
Oh, I was like
homie honey can be separated real fast. I had to look for a second. I'm like, no. Like my eyes are glazed over. I'm like, she did not write that. Looking back, I'm like, oh, whoo.
You're like scrubbing off your glasses.
Yeah, that sentence changed in my head so fast. But yeah, hilarious. On that topic though, I am now a father since the last time I saw you guys. So big shout out to that. Big shout out to homie Honeybear out here.
Yeah, as hinted at by Crazy Pete earlier's Daddy Bear.
Is that the real honey dad? I think is what he said. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, so finally a father. Feel free to ask me about things, in the Discord. I'm not as active as I have been. I apologize for that. So if I haven't chat with you guys, that's my little bit of time that I have. So I'm hyped to get to hang out with you guys. I will be back a little bit more active soon. Because I miss all you guys. I miss hanging out with everybody, and I miss just being in things. Woo! But
you're busy, so
yeah, I'm busy.
Judging you for that.
I'm busy. My like most active time in the Discord and around has actually been like between the hours of like 1 a.m. and 3 a.m.
Oh, you're turning into me?
I'm turning into you, which is like I'm normally in bed at like 10:30. I'm like, Lorence, I'm done. Quit messaging me.
Yeah.
Now I'm like 1 a.m. rolls around. I'm like, hey, you want to hop on a call? You want to hash things out? Like,
yeah.
I'm here. Like, I'm ready to play a quick game.
Yeah.
feeling good.
That's great.
Yeah, I guess that's my personal meta news. Do you got anything else you want to slide into with meta news, or you want to slide down into weeklies?
I mean, the last thing I'll kind of touch on that is I'm excited to see how everyone does, not just in our TFT leagues, which we'll again cover later at the next sections, but like just seeing those people be around the Discord and then be in these Riot tournaments are just like, I'm really hyped to see how everyone does. Like so much love has come around for Set 8, like not just for the game, but for like everyone that's just in the Discord. I'm excited to see how these people do then. They hanging around to get to meet everyone, be a little more personable with everybody, and then see how you do in these events. I'm excited for it. My closing statement on the meta news.
100%. And the tournament starts during the 14th, 15th. So I will be watching it. There is no main broadcast. So if you are playing, make sure you drop your stream link into our Discord. So we can grab those. We can hang out. Maybe maybe I'll hop into a call with some people and just watch streams. Because I will be watching them no matter what I'm doing. I will be watching them because I absolutely love that competition. I can't wait to see what you guys can do. Hopefully we pull through. If you get day 1, I'm still extremely proud of what you've accomplished. Just making it. I don't care how far you make it. I'm excited to watch you, even if you go 8th every single game. Doesn't matter to me. I'm hyped. I'll be just as hyped for game 6 to watch you go 8th as I am for game 1. Watching you go 8th. Like, cannot wait. I'll be cheering you on nevertheless. Please don't go 8th 6 games in a row. But if you do, we're still here. That would be tragic, but that would be tragic. Yeah. So don't do that. But even if you do, couldn't be more hyped to watch you. So. Full agreed. On the L weeklies. Lorence, you were around for the weeklies. You watched the weeklies. You saw people in the weeklies. What happened? I don't know what happened.
It exploded. Actually, no. So one thing that I want to point out real quick, but even besides like the winner or what happened before the finals, but at the end of the second match, we got a winner, but we had a 3-way tie at 14 points for first through third.
What?
Then we had somebody in 12th or at 12 points. And that person had gotten first in the last game, and then they didn't even get top 3. And then there was 2 ties at the points below that, 2 people at 10, 2 people at 4. So there was only one person not tied the entire for all 8 of those players.
That's actually insane.
Not together, right? But there's only one person not in a tie. That was whoa, because this is money differences, right? Of people winning certain amounts or just winning it all, like a 3-way tie at 14 points for that. I would be so stressed.
That's insane.
Yeah. We saw Proto there. I believe Latin America player came in here. Plastic Silicone's been around for a while, quite a bit as much.
Team Plastic Silicone.
And then I believe a brand new winner though, Sir Hamon, I believe would be the pronunciation of it.
I think so.
Was first place winner. So probably not in the chat. But if you happen to be, very much kudos to you. It's always fun to see somebody new come in and win. So props to them. Also, ZZ Zhao was once again back in the final. So who would have thought? Yeah,
I just saw that name popping up. Yeah, I mean they're always there.
Yeah, and then Mocha also, almost made it to finals. Big rip there, but
we had Mocha 9th, 10th. I mean, that's still hype, right? These tournaments are
money,
stressful and hard, and even making it to semifinals is an accomplishment, right? It's hard to make it to finals every single week unless you're just a good tournament format player. Well, some people aren't. Some people are more solo queue grinders. Some people have on days, off days. To be consistent at that is just incredible. So even making it semifinals or 9th, 10th, well done. You're crushing it. So,
yes, sir. Not too much more to go into on that though. I guess we did have we had a brand new streamer come in. I believe they were not even, they weren't a Masters level player or anything, but they came in and just like, it seemed like they were a really nice streamer. I came into their chat and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they interacted with me the whole time. Had their daughter coming in and out, saying hello on the stream, was really cute. And then I don't know, like they were just brand new to the tournament, and I really hope that they're back. Like everyone sometimes like thinks like, oh, you can not really succeed in these, or like they get like round one, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just being able to come out and have like some sort of community, make it past for myself when I play in like the PSLT weeklies and I make it past round one, I get excited because I've never really done that very often.
Yes.
So I mean, even if you get like round one all the time, hey, just keep grinding at it, and maybe you'll make second round, third round, and keep working your way up. That's what the part of this is for goals, right? Is to just, I've got something to strive for, because maybe you can't always hit challenger or like maybe that next rank that you want, but you can come into these weeklies every single week and have a goal to go for.
For sure.
Yeah, and give a quick shout out for it. They are second up in TFT streams, Marikai HD. Feel free to check them out. They were a pretty fun streamer to watch. Go and check it out.
Yeah, that's pretty hype. I always love new streamers coming in. It gives us something to watch during the tournaments, hang out, get to see the kind of the full experience, if you will. Because it's hard to get the full experience of our tournaments if we can't see it. We just kind of sit in the background and get Nora's perspective. Shout out to Nora. But like that's pretty much it. If people aren't streaming, so we love to see the new streamers come in, get to hang out with them, get to chat, get to see their perspective. That's actually how we met. Like, I want to shout out Chandler, who should be in the Defender Cup. That's how we met him. Was streaming. I don't think Chandler is super plugged in to like a lot of the stuff around Aegis. I know they're in ACL. Sometimes see him in the Discord. Don't know if I could see him in the podcast. I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I've ever spoken with Chandler. But love watching his streams. Like the guy wears his wins and losses on his sleeve, and I love watching that. Like if he loses, he's legitimately angry that he lost, not because like he's not like angry and trying to project it. He's just mad because he's like, I should have done better. Like he's internalizing, he's looking at it, it's like, okay. And the first thing he goes to is like, how do I not do this again? How do I get better at this? I'm like, I freaking love that.
That's like, great. Yeah.
I love that. Like sometimes it's like, oh, this guy's mad, but it's like, hey, he's mad because he expects better of himself and he wants to try, and he's gonna come out there next week and try again and learn from his mistakes. And I'm like, kudos to this guy. Like, I freaking love it. So like anytime we get to see things like that and get connected to the players is always just a really cool thing. Like even if he might never hear me say this, but I think I've talked about him on this podcast probably 4 or 5 times now of how much like I enjoy his stuff. So yeah, just big shout out to those guys. But Lawrence, real quick on this, like, because I haven't been a part of set 8 weeklies yet, I don't believe. Not really. I've kind of been doing my child thing. But how's it been being back? How have you felt during these tournaments or these weeklies? And like, what do you think the community reaction has been with them so far?
I mean, it's not to like a bash on design or anything like that, but like I think there was a notable dip in 7.0 and then in 7.5. So like an additional, not to toot my own horn thing, but like I put a lot of effort into these things and I love seeing people have a good time. So finally seeing like people come back in set 8 and get excited about these and have our tournaments fill up in like 30 minutes with 128 people and have over 200 people sign up. I know that was a mouthful, but like all these numbers, but like seeing all these people get excited about the game again, it like really invigorates myself. Like we had 226 people register for the tournament this week, and that like makes me feel like I'm helping these people. Like I'm giving these people something to do, and that really motivates myself. So I'm feeling excited about it. We'll see if that keeps up. I'm sure thinking that it will. The set's not about to just explode anytime soon. So yeah, I'm feeling great about these weeklies. Feeling excited. Yeah,
especially because I would argue maybe about half of the people who play in the tournaments like aren't expecting money, right? They're just playing because it's a fun thing to do, and that's pretty hype. That's why I play in tournaments. I'm never expecting to win anything. I am never expecting to dominate, and so like it's enjoyable. To get to play against people and kind of like you talked about, like setting goals for yourself for every single week. A lot of times my goals come with the lobby that I get. I'll look through the lobby. Sometimes I'll be playing against players I know. Sometimes it's players I don't know. If it's somebody, like, if I don't recognize the single name in there, maybe I'll check ranks and be like, I want to try to compete against this guy. Or I'm just going to try to do my best. I'm going to try top 4. If I don't, hey, that's okay. But, sometimes it's like, hey, I got this player in my lobby. I'm going to try to beat them. I don't care if that's, like, I get 7th, they get 8th. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like, if I beat that person, and that's, like, the same as solo queue for me. Like, Precedent was in my solo queue game right before he went to Summit, and I sent him 8th, and that felt so freaking good.
You're like screenshot,
like,
going on the
felt
wall.
So good to watch him go 8th, knowing that like he's a much better player than I. Like,
you're gonna be
so much better.
You're gonna be sitting around the campfire out in the woods one day with your daughter, and like back in the day, I crapped on Preston.
That's right. Like absolutely destroyed him. It's the same. Like I had Big Bro Keens in my lobby one day, and like my goal was to beat him. I didn't. I got destroyed. But like that was my goal. I'm like, I got Big Bro in my game. Like I gotta beat this guy. I gotta focus up. Like I'm gonna beat him. It's not to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna like steal his units. No, I'm playing normal. But like that's my mini goal, right? Of like I'm just gonna try to be as good as this player that I know is better than I am. And every lobby players are probably way better than I am. But if I know you're way better than I am, I'm just gonna try to beat you. And I think that's like some of my joy going into weekly tournaments, things like that. Of like, and I would say majority of these people feel the same. Of like, I just want to play good. I want to compete against some really good people, and I want to try to beat those really good people. And if I don't, that's fine. Like I'll go back to solo queue, and that was pretty fun. So
yeah, I think that's like a combination of what we just had said for both of our points was like, like getting to see those people every week is like kind of like you can come in to these weeklies and you'll likely see the same people again. And maybe you won't get the same exact, especially if you get like round 1, round 2. You might not see a ton of the same people all the time, but once you start, like if you're at a certain level and you make it to semis every so often, like you're gonna see these names over and over again. You're gonna start, hey big bro, like I'm gonna beat you this week, right?
100%.
And like that's fun. Like I kind of did that with Tarzan. Like I was like, I am not losing in this game against Tarzan. Like I can't go bot 5 or bot 4, excuse me. I can't go 5th or below. There's no way. And I really pushed myself, and so like I can really see that with some people, just getting that extra little push, and then you're like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never going bot 4. I'm gonna go and grind out some solo queue, and like it gives you that little bit of motivation, which is again why we do a lot of this stuff. It gives you something to do playing TFT.
It gives you a sense of community as well, right? Like that's what the weeklies are for. It's just finding that community. And if you're out there for the money, like big pog.
Yeah, like, big pog.
If you don't interact and you're like, hey, I found this tournament, I could use the prize money. Like I could really use it. It's like super hype. Like I really hope you do well. I'm fine with you not, engaging with the community. It's there for that. I want people to strive for that prize money. I want to like quick. I guess my last thing on here before we move to ACL AML, because we probably got to move on to that. But like when this was one of my first weeklies, maybe my 10th weekly. I don't know. But like I was somewhat newer here, and I was hanging out in the Discord, and I believe it was Mocha. It might have been Keens, but I believe it was Mocha had like just ordered Grubhub, and was like, my Grubhub order is $18.
Oh my god.
I need the 18. I need to get whatever it was, like 4th or 3rd or whatever it was. Like I need to get this so I can like pay back my Grubhub order, and they got it. Yeah. Like it was like almost exact. I'm like, that's so cool. Like,
That's hilarious. He's like,
their
he gets
whole
to
night was just paid for. Like, they got their Grubhub order, they had fun playing TFT, like, and it was just, you know, paid for, I guess, by Aegis, if you will, right? It's like, that's pretty fun. Like, that's a pretty fun story that, like, I will personally just hold with me for a while, because I'm like, that's kind of what these tournaments are for, right? It's
Right.
like, you might get paid, you might not get paid, but, like, the whole goal was he was having fun. He ordered food out. Like, he's just relaxing playing TFT with some of the friends, some of the guys. And turns out he won his money back, and he just had his meal paid for. It's like, that's pretty awesome.
Like, let's go.
That's a feels good moment. So, wasn't Mocha? Do you remember this?
I honestly, I think it was Mocha, but it could have been either one of them. It sounds exactly like something both would say. But if I had to lean one way, I'm pretty sure it was Mocha.
That's what I'm leaning. So but freaking love it. Anyways,
Yeah,
it was Mocha.
exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, Uber Eats. There we go. Yeah, that's freaking hilarious.
I gotta pay for my Uber Eats.
I gotta win. I just bought $18 worth. Anyways, speaking of Mocha, on to AML, ACL, and we have to update the graphic because AAL is going to be in there soon. We've been doing a ridiculous amount of work, and by we, I mean Lorence and rest of staff minus Honeybear. But great stuff going on. This is our biggest turnout ever.
Yeah, pretty
by
much
far, right?
easily. Like it's definitely the highest turnout for signups in terms of people that we're going to be accepting as well. We hit a minimum of 40 for all three of them, so that's already 120, which is more than any other time that we'd ever had this. I think it's like this weird like going up, going down for half sets, which is where I kind of get that talk earlier, where sometimes things just go down for the half sets, and that's based on like, these signups that end up happening. It was 64 for the first ever time that we had it, where we didn't have any splits. Went down to like in rank, then it went down for the next season of 6.5 or 4 set 6.5, and it had 40 people, and then we split it in half, and it went up to 104 total. And last time it went down to I think 80 total, and this time we're going to be up at 140ish. So it just keeps on it has this weird but constant upward trajectory. So I mean, it's looking good. I'm happy about that. But it's definitely the biggest we've had in a while. Or not in a while, ever.
Ever.
So
and I believe we had ever even taking out AAL from it, right? Like if you just include ACL and AML, I think it's still the highest.
Yeah, I think that's still the highest. So like the fact that we were able to still include, we have 3 dozen diamond players playing in AAL. It's so many players. That's that's great. Because I think the whole point of wanting to do something like AAL was to give people a spot to not get stomped by challenger players and maybe grandmaster players, that's not what we wanted. We wanted people to again get some sort of thing outside of, we get round 1, we get round 2 here, us diamond players, we get round 1, round 2 in these weeklies, but now we can have something where you come in and you're facing a lot of diamond players, but it's still competitive, and that's the whole point of these things. I'm excited and happy that it ended up turning out well in terms of.
Yeah, and I'm actually I am excited for the diamond players. I think I'm more excited for the plat below players, because we have over a dozen plat below players, some even gold players, which I am super hyped to see, because I really think this is going to give them an opportunity to grow without just getting curb stomped into the ground, right? I think we're going to really see some players that are going to shine, and maybe players I feel like I always use this example, but like Purple Pouring, who just doesn't have the time to play all the games they want to. And so you get these plat, these gold players who might hit plat and then be like, all right, that's it. I'm good for the day. Or good for the year. I don't really have time to grind for this, Diamond Masters player, but they might be a really good player. I'm excited to watch them, see what they can do. I'm more excited, I guess, even shout them out on this podcast of look at this player, look at what they did. That is unbelievably hype.
Right. Yeah, we've got players that are legitimately gold. These are gold players that are coming and playing. and like seeing them go up, like I was in that spot, like when I was starting to play this game, like I was very hard stuck plat, and for like the first set and a half, I was stuck gold. And also in like League of Legends, I was stuck silver for a really long. And then I started getting motivated by certain things, starting to play competitive. And like seeing them do that will again be like a homage to myself of like why I do this. Like seeing this person that we accepted that's gold and having them push up and be diamond I'm going to shout them out. They're going to be on this podcast. Yes. I'm shouting them out because I'm excited to see players like that. Like get that improvement, get that maybe that drive. I don't know. Maybe they just kind of like looked at the game as it's just another game. But now they come in on weekends and maybe I should sweat a little more. I'm gonna go and get involved in the community, get a little more out of this game. And I think that's the beauty of some of the stuff like this is it's not just some silly little game. Sometimes it's something that can really change your off time. Like your off time just feels much more fulfilling. And hopefully it doesn't come off as just tooting my own horn because I run these things. Because I believe in it. So
yeah, 100%. And it's like this is the start of like our not the start of it, but like it's continuing on our vision coming, forward of finding a space outside of just the Riot sanctioned events, which are very minimal for the TFT community. Just have a spot to have competitive TFT. You can't find this anywhere else. Like you really can't. Try. Let me know. Let me know where you find it.
Actually, let us know so we can find what they do.
Yeah, really.
Improve on it.
Because they don't exist. As far as I know, they don't exist. You have some of your regional leagues, which are super hype. I love watching those. And we have players in here who play in the regional leagues and play in ours. It's like, that's really cool. But this is a non-regional league. No, anybody can play here. I don't care where you're from. Come play. Like, can you create an NA account? Yes. Come play. No.
Good job.
What the heck is Riot doing? Like, come play. Because we can't wait to watch you. But it's like, finally we have a spot to where diamond players, below diamond players have an opportunity to come and play, in an esport, if you will. Like, they actually can compete, not just solo queue. And it's like, that's what we did when we separated ACL and AML. Like, now we have an opportunity. Masters players can come in, Grandmasters players can come in, and not get curb stomped by your Scipius, not get curb stomped by your Keens. Like, finally we have a spot for that. Because if you don't know, 0 LP Masters and 2,000 LP Challenger, big difference. Like, significant difference. That is the difference between going from Iron 4 to Master 0 LP. It is exact, that's exact split.
That's the same amount.
It's the same amount. So, like, think about that. It's an Iron 4 player going against a Masters player, or a Masters player going against a Challenger 2000 LP. Same thing. You're going to get slaughtered. And so it's, finally we have that split, AML, ACL. Now we have the AAL to where these Iron players can come in, really work themselves, try to get better if they want to. If they just want to hang out and have fun, come hang out and have fun. But if you want to be a part of an esport, if you want to grow, start in the AAL. Get good, find your way to Masters. You have that direct avenue. Like, you hit Masters, and you're like, I really want to play better. I really want to do better, play against higher competition. You're in the AML. Next set. It's an instant transition up. And then you got somebody like Shy Guy, worked his darn butt off during the set, like, dominated the AML, got to Challenger, won the AML, is in the ACL this set. We'll see how they do. Made it to the Defender Cup. I hope. Where are they at? Let me double check this. Made it to the Defender Cup. They're in there. 581 LP. They're in there. So, like, just watching players like that, it's like, that's so hype. Like, you have an avenue now. Now, I'm not saying Shy Guy wouldn't have made it to the Defender Cup if he wasn't in Aegis. But it's like, it's cool to watch that progression. And now there is a sure path to quote unquote pro TFT esports through Aegis. And I freaking love to see it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're going to sound like broken records going back and forth here or something.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I'll just stop it there with that one. But like, yeah, no, I don't know. I'm excited to see it go because I've been staring at these sign up sheets for way too long. But I love doing it, so it doesn't matter. My eyes disagree with me though, because they're like probably going to be bloodshot here soon from staring at screens. But health aside, it's looking really nice. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't want to keep on reiterating it.
All right, I'm gonna throw you on the spot here. Do you have, by any chance, a spreadsheet open?
I do.
Go ahead and pull that up. I'm gonna throw you on the spot here. Let's do our way too early predictions. Who's gonna win ACL AML?
Okay.
The way too early have nothing to go off of besides, previous success. Who's gonna win AML ACL? It's like I don't know if anybody watches LOL from here, but like the Freak special. Freak will predict somebody to win Worlds like every single day until he's predicted like every single team. He'll just tweet it out like Cloud9 is gonna win Worlds, and then next day SKT is gonna win Worlds. Next day, like I don't know, Samsung's gonna win Worlds.
Eventually,
next day Dignitas is gonna win Worlds.
It can't be 265 teams, right? It's
yeah. So he just keeps tweeting it out, and eventually, like he hit it, and so he can always go back to that tweet. Same thing here. Who's winning? You want to start ACL or AML? Do you have a strong feeling?
I'll start ACL. I got a good one for ACL.
ACL? All right. I mean, I have mine picked, and I'm interested to see if it's the same thing. But who are you picking? Lorence ACL. Who's winning?
I'm picking. So, besides some of the maybe mainstays, I think there's some people that'll be competing for it. But if we're going, who do I think's going to win it, and who is kind of like that wild card that's just going to come out of nowhere? Maybe for some people, but not for me. I think player 2X is going to be the one that wins ACL because they stomp in our weeklies quite frequently, and this is the first time I believe that they've actually been able to play an ACL. So I'm hyped to see how they do because like it's like kind of like those players that like stomp the little leagues maybe like per se, and then they like, all right, up to the big leagues, buddy. Let's see how you do. And I think they're really good, like based on their elo, based on how they've done in weeklies. Like I think they're coming and make like finals at worst. That's my prediction. Okay,
so they're winning though.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win. I think they'll win it.
I feel that. I'm throwing a maybe a crazy one. I don't think it's crazy.
How do I mute this guy?
You mute me?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, mute you.
I'm just gone. Just disconnected. I think Shy Guy's gonna win the entire thing.
Ooh, dang.
I think Shy Guy's gonna win it. Shy Guy is already a good, if you will, like tournament player, right? They proved it last set. And so I think they're gonna win it. Like they are at Challenger, 851 LP. They have 276 games, which you're looking at that and you're like, is that really significant? That is 110 games less than Keen's, and he's one game away from him. Keen's, I see you in chat.
He does not
throwing it out there. Yeah, that's my way too early prediction. ACL, Shy Guy wins the whole thing. Is that crazy?
It might be. I don't know.
Yours is definitely not crazy.
Yeah, mine's like that's understandable.
Yeah, because he wins a lot of tournaments all the time.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I mean mine was like this is just new, so nobody might have like heard the name if they're only paying attention to the leagues.
Correct. Yep.
But yeah, no, I can see that happening. I think I'm going to hesitate on agreeing with you.
I would. I would hesitate. I mean, you got a dark horse? You want to throw in a dark horse?
Just never underestimate the power of having that drive, right? Of like, now I've hit that goal. What's next? And if you hit it, I don't know. It can really be like a big push. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Do you have a dark horse? I have a dark horse.
Let's see what's the dark horse here.
I'm gonna throw out. I don't have the sheet up. I actually can't pull it up because I'm on the Aegis one, and we didn't give Aegis access to it. I don't think, anyways. Maybe it is, but I don't see it right now. But I'm gonna throw out Renegade as my dark horse.
Really?
I'm going all NA. For now, I think Renegade is a true dark horse, right? But
did you see his LP by any chance recently?
is it 0?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's 0.
It's pretty close. If it's not there right now. Great player. Like I love the guy. I think he'll come back into form. Like he just kind of whipped it up. He kind of just whipped it up last set when he hadn't been playing for a while and made it all the way to the Invitational in like just a couple. Like I think they're a really good player. Like I wouldn't doubt that at all. If I saw them in finals, I'd be like, screw it. I think they can win it all.
I can confirm the LP. Yeah, I mean, but like the reason they're my dark horse is because you can just tell they're loving the set, and you can tell they're grinding it out, right? It's there. Nobody can deny it. They're loving the set. They're grinding it out, and I don't care what their LP says right now, because I'm not basing it off of the LP right now. I am basing it off of my prediction in 2 months. And so my 2-month prediction from now is that Renegade freaking loves this set, and he's going to grind it out, and he's going to be one of the best players at Aegis. I think he could squeak out the championship. He also could not make playoffs, like, because ACL stacked. But he's my dark horse. I'm betting on him, making it to the finals and giving a good push for it.
So what I've got a nice little spicy one. Somebody who's taken a little bit of a break. Somebody who is finally back, and I'm excited to see it. And I hope Tramsey is in here, because it's not him, but I hope Tramsey in here, because I think my dark horse is going to be Trade. I think
yes.
Trade, or the original winner of the TFT League, is back and ready for action. And that guy is pretty good at TFT.
Really?
The league has changed. Really has changed considerably since he was here last.
Yeah, very much so.
Or not maybe last. I think he was here in 1 or 2 of the other leagues, but since he had last won, it's changed considerably. There's some pretty freaking good players here now that'll maybe stand in your way. But I think he's good enough. I think he's got a shot. And he's using an Outlook.com instead of Hotmail.com. Shakes my head. What a boomer. Or what a zoomer, I mean.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I think Trade's a great one. I think Trade is a crazy player. I think he's crazy good. I'm excited to see him in the Defender Cup. He decided, I don't think he's here. He decided to play. And he might be on the outside looking in right now. So I hope he pulls it back. He was on the inside looking out when we started the podcast. He might be on the outside looking in after the podcast. So you got 4 hours, man. You got this. We all have faith in you. I do think you're a crazy player, and I really hope you pull it out. So I am excited to watch them in the ACL. AML.
I think it will be. Ooh, this is going to be some spicy stuff.
I mean, I think there's one that I want to give it to, right?
I think maybe this is totally not playing favorites here. I want to see Pouring win it.
Okay, I'm playing favorites, so
yeah. I act like you're in the chat. Like I'm not trying to be too sappy or anything like that. But like I think you can come back and just reclaim the crown.
Feels.
I mean, I'm looking at the competition, and it's like if you were able to make playoffs in ACL last split, like I think you can win this, dude.
So I'm gonna give it to my fan favorite, the Crazy Grape.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, they're both stellar players. Grape has not played a single game of ranked this set, I don't think.
And that's what Pete's gonna cover. And that's what Pete's gonna cover. Pete's played some games, but he can't play every single weekend, so that's why they teamed up to the Crazy Grape.
Yes, the Crazy Grape.
But I think just the all caps, the crazy grape.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so funny. They need to make a logo. They just need to have like Pete's logo where he's just like doing that like leaned over face, and then it's just a grape instead of his face.
Yes.
Crazy grape. No, that would be. I'd be so ecstatic seeing that happen. Imagine the hype, like the hype levels in the Discord would be through the roof. So for the engagement possibilities, I agree and hope that happens. But I think there are other options as well that can possibly win.
Yeah. Dark horse.
Let's see, dark horse.
My dark horse is expired. 100%. I think expired is a crazy good player. I think they could win it all. Yeah, dark horse, expired. It's a pretty easy one for me.
I think I'll shout out Tarzan for calling himself. I was thinking about it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna choose another one here. Another fan favorite of somebody I've been interacting with a little more on Twitter. Hopefully maybe they're in chat. PH Dan. I think that guy is pretty good at TFT. So I'm excited to see how he does in a league that's not like completely open, because he had played in our previous ones where there was mostly open, or it was like Challenger and Grandmaster. So I really think that him coming back and being refocused, he can really compete with these players.
Speaking of focus, I don't think my camera's focusing. Focus!
Just turn it off. It'll be fine. Nobody wants to see you anymore. Got him.
Actually, to be honest, it does help, so I'm gonna...
Oh, true. Bye.
100% honesty, that does sometimes fix it. I don't know if it did. I won't stress about it. Yeah, I 100% agree. PHJan, Nels player. This will be like one of my first times watching PHJan compete.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited for that.
I think he took like all of set 7 off basically from putting things competitively. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Awards.
Awards.
I already have my high roll and low roll. It's the same thing, so I'll shout it out if you want me to do both of them at once.
Yeah, go ahead. Even if it's
my wife giving birth to my daughter. Big high roll for me. Low roll. My daughter not sleeping in anything but our arms. So no one gets sleep around this house anymore. So high roll, low roll. My daughter. What do you got for us?
Even if you had done the exact same thing, I would have said it anyway because it's hilarious and would have been funny that I chose the same thing. It's pretty close. The high roll of the week is you. You had your daughter born. It's been a long time coming. One of the first things you ever talked to me about was that you've got your daughter coming. So like just in general, like that was one of the first things you talked to me about. And so like seeing it come this far is just exciting that you get to be a dad. I'm myself, I'm someone that like it might not be in the cards, but I would love to be a father. I would love to have a kid, just to raise up and give them the world, sort of thing. And so being able to talk to you through this all was very fun and exciting. I've been saying exciting way too much, but it is.
The highs and the lows, they're all great, kind of. Yeah. Some of them.
Yeah, there's some bad parts. It's like maybe I'll just adopt instead. Yes. I don't want to. My sleep schedule is already hard enough as it is. I can't imagine.
Then, hey, she's home for 24 hours, and then we're back in the ER.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Yikes.
W. And then that's a good segue into the secondary part of it. Of the low roll of the week is your sleep schedule.
Yes, it is.
So
yes, it is. Yeah.
Salute to that. So I like you were up at late hours of the night again. Talking to me about like you're not anything, and nothing is normal right now.
Nothing.
As expected, but I don't know. It's kind of just I almost like something like that where it's technically a negative, but it's really showing you like something's happening. Like this is changing in my life. Like I now have to care about this my daughter. And like I have to do these things, so I'm excited hearing about that, even though it probably sucks at times, but it's always worth it. I'll compare that a little bit to not the same thing, of course, but like getting my puppy. I've wanted to get a puppy for quite a while, and many, many sleepless nights. And wow, why are you peeing on the floor again?
Yes.
But she is 10 and a half months old right now. I'll pick her up, and she's very sleepy. But she's been so good now.
What a good girl.
Love it.
It's a good Winnie.
But like, no, she's been so great. It'll be worth it. But rip your sleep schedule for now. So
big RIPs. Rev, question and answer.
If we've got anything.
Q&A. We do have so I see one. It's kind of a joke, but I wanted to shout it out. From summer camp, Shy Guy asked, "Where can we bet on the AML results? I want to place a bet on expired."
Wow.
You can't for legal reasons. I have to say you cannot. Let me know if you find a place or if you guys do it, because that's pretty funny and I want to talk about it on the podcast. But for legal reasons, no, there will be no betting on this esport.
It's actually so I won't go too crazy into this maybe, or will try to keep this a little more under wraps just in case we can't have it happen this set. But one thing I really liked in the LoL leagues for League of Legends here, or one thing I really liked for the LoL leagues here at Aegis, was having predictions and having them be also a public version.
Yes.
So effectively, betting is something that, like, betting on predictions on who will win, which is effectively betting on someone without money. And getting that set up would be very fun. Like set up fantasy drafts for the leagues or something like that. Awesome. Not that exact format, because I think that would need a lot more than a week's preparation. But in terms of setting up like a weekly power rankings done by the public, would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, hey, who's your top 8? Who's your top 8 players? And who's your prediction for winning it all this year? Something like that. Just having that set up and be a form that people can fill out. That would be fun. So
figure
yeah, like straw poll, like weekly refreshing, and having that be out there somewhere, something like that. Just interaction, just people saying, "Oh, I think so and so is going to win," and then people talk smack in the general chat. So
yeah, I mean, we already do this just because we love these leagues and we love all the players, and so Container Bot will come in to the calls, and we'll have the admins and whoever will be like, all right, who's winning this week? Like, who's dominating? Who do you got for this game? Who do you got for this? Excuse me. Just because it's fun, and like we as tournament organizers love it. We love hanging out. We love talking about it, and making the bold predictions that who really cares if it comes out like from our side of things. We just want it to be a fun event, but like sometimes be like, oh yeah, like this guy is gonna win, like hands down, and then they get 8th, and we get heckled in the chat.
Yeah, we get a heckling going on.
Like nobody really cares. It's all for fun and games. So yeah. But Lorence, I'll leave you to set that up. So
soon, TM.
Say what?
Soon, TM.
Yes, very soon. Very soon. Do we have anything else?
Not that I saw. Should be good.
Didn't I feel like I messaged it? Any questions? Did anybody respond? Oh, nothing. Beautiful. Well, if anybody else has any questions, feel free to drop them real fast. But we'll do quickly outro, shout out, etc. If nobody has any questions, then we'll end it. Lorence, anything you want to shout out before we go?
Let's go. I'll shout out to all the people that have helped me set up these leagues. Not you, Honeybear.
Nope. Haven't been around.
You helped a little bit.
I helped.
You're obviously
baby.
You're obviously busy, but shout out to Yui. Shout out to Yui. Shout out to B-Pots. Shout out to even CLE, who came in and helped with some of the cold calls that we did. Really appreciative to all of you that helped me do the setup for these leagues, because it's a lot bigger now. It's 3 different leagues, and I would not be able to do this by myself. So thank you very much for your help. Even though I am at the front, at the top TFT director, you should deserve a shout out for that as well. Thank you very much.
For sure. Yeah. I'm going to go off of that. And so you guys who have been around for a while know that we've been struggling with, setting up streams, getting people in place for streams. We will have a stream for every single day. We have a full content team now. The content team is actually bigger than I can even list. So absolutely amazing content team that we have, that we've been putting together over the last year, and it's quite amazing. So, like, huge shout out to everybody. Front run, like, it is headed by Protroid. If you guys have seen Protroid, make sure you give him a big thank you. With CLE close by. So CLE has been running everything in the background, with Protroid as far as the content crew is concerned. So getting, producers, getting scheduling, getting people, in place to cast, doing practice casts, getting everything set up that you could possibly imagine for our streams. And we really hope that they're gonna be amazing. It's gonna be really cool for you guys to watch. And we got some really talented people working in the background that you guys will get to see come the start of the leagues, and I'm excited for that. So even like the spreadsheet in the background stuff that everybody will get to, kind of see firsthand, if you will, with getting accepted to the league and all that through Lorence, UE, whatnot. But the other side of things of being able to show you all of our progress, that's going to be through Protroid and CLE. It's been really cool. It's been a really cool journey. If anybody wants to get into casting, reach out to CLE, reach out to Protroid, because those guys are setting up absolutely everything right now. If you want to work with some of the literal best TFT casters in the world, this is the place for it now. So, yeah,
let's go.
Reach out to them. But cool. I didn't see any other questions come through. You? Anything?
Nope.
Nothing? Cool. Swing on into the outro. Guys, thank you so much. Yeah, everything we do now will pretty much be on YouTube. If we have to go back to Twitch, we will go back to Twitch for a little bit. So I hope you guys support us over here on YouTube. This is a journey. We all believe this is the correct decision for us at Aegis and us at Aegis TFT. So we put a ridiculous amount of time, thought, and effort into it. So I hope you guys support us with it. And we won't let it fail. So thanks for being here for the first live stream. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for everybody behind the scenes. Thank you for everybody who's in the Discord, asking questions, hanging out, joining our leagues. Pretty much absolutely everybody. You guys are amazing. And yeah, YouTube from now on, we're just going to be hyped. Lawrence, anything before I close this out?
Nope. I've already been talking way too much, so I'll let that have been the last say.
There it is. All right, you guys have an absolutely wonderful rest of your night. This will not be up yet. We're going to slap a thumbnail on it, and then it'll be up. So if you're watching it later, that doesn't apply to you. If you're watching it now and you want to watch it back, it will not be up for a day. Whenever Lawrence gets to it. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace out, everybody.